Hello, my name is Legendaries, aka CT Stealth, and instead of me going over a tutorial, this time I would like to show you some of my work. Um, this particular piece is called Lofty, and it's basically a loft. The product design was I needed to create um, a loft and light the scene, and using global illumination and final gatherer in the mental ray settings. For those of you that don't know what that is, global illumination is a light source that comes from the outside into an interior structure. The light will then bounce off, typically defined by decay rate, which basically means as the light travels and hits something else, like a wall or an object, the more times it bounces, the darker it gets. Eventually, what we will end up with is is brightness near the openings where the light comes through most, and darkness in, say, the corners or under particular objects. Things where you find darker. Um, Global illumination, though, doesn't necessarily it bounces off of everything. It's like an ambient light. Just it emits everywhere. So final gather is allows shadows and heavy shading, so it forms contacts with, like, say, the floor and the chair. So about like right here next to this chair, um, it'll it'll place a heavier shadow right here. Um, I have this textured. It's going a little bit slower because some of these things I've designed, um, such as the lighting and such, have been designed in Maya 2010. And in my particular case, I'm using 2008. So it's not necessarily exactly compatible, so I'm getting a little bit of a lag issue. But this is what my scene looks like. This green line here represents the resolution gate. So when I render, I only see everything inside of this. That's why some of the stairs here are not textured, because they're not in my shot. Um, I've Most of the models were actually provided to me. There's a few models that I made myself, such as everything over here, and like the speakers and the rug. I altered the shape of pretty much most of the objects in some degree, like this roof up here. Uh, I created this archway. It used to be kind of like a square, but I didn't like that. Unfortunately, this I did not model the staircase. It's rather cool. I liked it how it was, so I just used it. But anyway, I used the global illumination, and it formed a nice lighting scheme. Unfortunately, I can't move the camera because I have it locked for the render me settings. I could go back to the perspective view, but this shot pretty much says it all. If you'll notice out here, well, that's the glass, but uh, there's a gray plane. I don't know if you can see that, but I actually painted paint effects on it, like a grass. There's a bunch of grass out there. Um, so you're probably curious as to what exactly this looks like, and here it is. All right, so it's a sunset scene, obviously, hence by the orange lights. The sun is going down. This is an image I got from cgtextures.com. I appreciate the image, and I adjusted the actual the sun and arranged the lighting compositionally so that I get this this nice going down effect. Um, it's a little bit darker, especially on my computer, because the one I'm using at the labs, they have a much brighter screen. But so I might adjust the levels in Photoshop for this particular piece. But as you can see, way up here around the edges, anywhere where there's not light, it's pretty dark. Whereas opposed to, say, here, it's much more light. So that's a demonstrating of global illumination. I had a few people in my class actually ask me how I got this to kind of like stack like some blinds. Well, I just wrote a script. I don't. You can go and look at my other script tutorial, but basically I selected the blinds and then I did a random rotate between I think it was 0 and 45 degrees, depending on how far they were apart. So since the blinds start here and end here, I rotated them about 45 degrees. But for these particular things, even though I got these two lines here, I only rotated these between 0 and 10 degrees maybe. So that's how I got this little cascading effect. And as you know, with the script, I can just keep using the script until I get something that I'm happy with. That's so I don't have to go in there and change all of that, because that's a hassle to do so. To just do all that kind of stuff. So anyway, this is Lofty, and I hope you kind of see how the composition was made up. You can see, it's just a loft and a dome in the middle of nowhere. And I hope you enjoyed just looking at this work, and I hope to hear nice comments from you soon. Farewell.